Hello, I am back. It's been a little over a month since I posted. I apologize for that. Things got a little difficult for my family and I, but things are okay now. Slowly improving anyway. So I wanted to get back on that horse and start posting again. I gave you guys an update in September and a weigh-in, and it's unfortunately already time for another one. So here is my October weigh-in and update. Okay, so let's start with the update, and start with where I left off last. So I had talked about having an appointment on the 5th of October, and I really didn't know exactly what to expect from that. I had hoped that it would be the start of my diet so that, just the faster I can start that 6-month process, the faster I can get the surgery. However, it was just an intake and basically a evaluation to see if I qualify or if I'm a good candidate for surgery. And I went in there hoping for the sleeve, hoping to be a good candidate for the sleeve, but turns out I am not. But that's not completely bad. I am a good candidate for the Roux-en-Y gastric bypass instead. I'll get into that in a second, but the reason that I am not a good candidate for the sleeve is essentially because of acid reflux. I struggle pretty heavily with acid reflux. That alone really just disqualified the sleeve for me. It turns out if you have acid reflux problems and you get the sleeve, it can make it worse. And I really can't handle it getting worse, to be honest. I already take daily medication for my acid reflux, and with that, if I just, all it takes is missing one pill and I am miserable. So I'm not gonna go that route. I'm more than okay with not going that route. I was a little worried about the gastric bypass, or the Roux-en-Y, which is the same thing, but I was a little worried about it. It's a little bit more complicated from what I understand, but I think it's going to be the right choice for me now. It's actually supposed to help acid reflux. So essentially, from what I understand, it helps acid reflux because it basically redirects the path that the acid follows in your body. Like, that was plenty to convince me. Okay, yeah, I'll go with that. But yeah, the takeaway here is I am a good candidate for the Roux-en-Y gastric bypass. So that appointment basically ended with me having entered the program to get the surgery, and a little to-do list of things for me to do in order to qualify for the surgery. So that little to-do list consists of things like I have to go to see a heart specialist. There's nothing wrong with my heart. It's just I have severe anxiety and panic attacks sometimes, and I just, in the attempt to be completely transparent, I marked on my intake sheet, that I do have chest pain sometimes because of the anxiety. And so they want to cover all their bases and make sure that I am checked out by a heart specialist, so that insurance doesn't say, whoa. So, and then I also have to see a lung specialist because I am asthmatic. I'm not sure. She explained it to me why that could be a problem, but I don't remember, and I don't know. All I know is it has to do with my asthma. I also have to do, everyone has to do a drug screen and a few miscellaneous lab work stuff. And then the last two things, so I have to continue my therapy for my food addiction. I've kind of been in denial for a while that I am as bad as I am, that my food addiction is as bad as it is. But I finally was real with myself and my mental health team, and they actually assigned me a caseworker that is like specifically for my food addiction. It's honestly gotten to the point where I will either binge or just not eat at all. And if I can't have the food that I'm craving, I find myself not eating just because I don't want to deal with fighting that craving. It's just easier for me to not eat, which is really bad. But I could get into details there if you want. That would probably make a whole other video. But yeah, so the last thing would be seeing my dietitian. I did start seeing her on the 19th of October. I had said in my last video, I believe, that I was going to start my diet on the 5th. And that was mainly me not exactly understanding the process. So I ended up not starting my diet until the 12th. Like I was told to have 7 days worth of recorded food for my appointment on the 19th with the dietitian. So that's why I decided to start on the 12th. But as I have started seeing the dietitian, there have been a few things that I've added to my productivity plan. So basically I'm adding the following to my current productivity plan. I have to start taking a multivitamin and vitamin D every day. And then I also I'm currently walking 4+ times a week at 30 minutes a pop. Since the 12th, I've been recording everything I put in my mouth. With that, I have to make sure that I'm getting at least 60 grams of protein, 2 cups of vegetables, and 1 serving of fruit. Yeah, so the last thing that I'm adding is a little weird sounding, but it'll make sense when I'm done explaining. But I have to make sure that I don't eat and drink at the same time, and then after I eat, I have to wait 30 minutes before I start drinking again, even water. And that the reason is because it's a habit that I have to form, because once I have surgery, my stomach will be too small to handle me putting food and water in it at the same time. And I won't be able to eat all my food if I drink at the same time. I'll probably end up throwing up or something, like my body will not handle it well if I eat and drink at the same time. And I'm trying to only drink water right now, and I allow myself 1 cup of coffee every day. So water and 1 cup of coffee every day. Yeah, that's the basics of my current productivity plan, as well as the addendum that I put in my last video, and the original plan itself. And speaking of the addendum, I wanted to go over it really quick, just kind of update you guys on how that is going. So I figured out how to get myself, how to motivate myself to walk daily, or at least regularly. So I set up a schedule with my friend who he already has built the habit up of walking 4+ times a week. He calls me or I call him and we walk together. So since he's already formed the habit, I'm basically just piggybacking off of him. So that's helped a lot. But that's for water intake. I'm still working on that. I've changed my goal. Before I think I said 64 ounces to a gallon. But I'm just focusing on 64 ounces right now because that's what my dietitian said is fine. But I really haven't figured out how to, it's not necessarily motivating myself to drink water, it's more remembering. I have a really bad memory when it comes to drinking anything, let alone water. My coffee is the only thing that I remember every morning. As for the positive affirmations that I talked about doing for weight loss, I decided to do a vision board instead. I found some older pictures of me that are more along the lines of what I want to achieve, and then some motivators and goals that I have are pictured here too. I've kind of ditched the positive affirmations because I feel like the vision board is more helpful, but yeah, so The checklist that I talked about, that does help. I don't have it as visible as I said I would. It turns out it's fine for me to just have it on my phone and my computer. I have it in an app that I can access via my phone or computer. So, and then the recipes that I talked about, that's been a struggle. I'm kind of restricted right now to only eating things that I can get from my local food bank. But yeah, so basically I'm not really focused on any new recipes or anything right now. I'm mainly just focused on keeping it as simple as I can and focusing on my proteins, vegetables, and fruit. But yeah, if I can accomplish all of this, if I can keep up with all of this over the next 6 months, I think I'll definitely be a shoo-in for surgery. So now for the weigh-in. I unfortunately gained about 10 pounds over the last month. Having said that, at my weigh-in, at my intake for surgery, I did weigh in at 336. So that is what they have set my goal for. I just have to maintain that weight or be under it. As long as I don't gain weight over the next 6 months, it should be fine. But I have set a personal goal of losing 40 pounds so that I am under the 300-pound mark by the time I have surgery. Now here is my official starting point. As of last Friday, the 22nd, I weighed in at 339 pounds at 9:30 a.m. and then my measurements were as follows. My neck was 17.5 inches, my upper arm and both of my upper arms were 18 inches, my bust was 61, my waist was 58.5, my belly button was 68, my hips were 58.25. Well, when I say my belly button, I mean like my waist at my belly button. Anyway, so moving on again. So again, my hips were 58.25. And then my right thigh was 33.5 and my left thigh was 32.5. So not great. I gained way too much to be happy with that, to be honest. Like I said, it's almost exactly 10 pounds that I gained. And then, yeah, I gained inches in every category except for my neck. My neck is the same. I'm not happy with that. So I'm cracking down so that I can actually hit my goal of losing the 40 pounds in 6 months. Editing Quinn here. Yeah, so first off, I apologize for the jump forward in time. It is now Halloween night, and that is why I am covered in makeup. But anyway, I realized two things. First, something came up between recording this video and editing this video. I am now working with a life coach. She is helping me reach my goal of losing the 40 plus pounds. It's just a little extra help on top of the dietitian and everything else that is being provided. And I'm so thankful for all of the help between my therapist and caseworkers and psychiatrist and now life coach and dietitian. It's just amazing, and I'm so thankful for it all. But yeah, so that came up. But also, obviously, it's Halloween. I didn't expect it to take as long as it has to edit the video. To be honest, I just kind of forgot. I got about halfway through editing and got distracted. So yeah. But happy Halloween and stay safe, have fun, and I'll see you next time.